International effort. That's the headline. Out of Canada, as firefighters take on a wide collection of fires all across the country, from west to east. Workload is being shared with fire crews from all over the world. And as the kids say, literally, they need all the help they can get, which includes crews from here in Idaho. Some are now back after a 2-week adventure way up north. And they tell Joe Paris, firefighting with a crew made up of people from all around the world comes with quite the story.
As you watch this show, wildfires continue to burn all across Canada. This snapshot gives you an idea. It's east to west, north to south. And with such a heavy fire presence across the Great North, crews from around the world are teaming up to help the Canadians.
I got back from a fire and my assistant order was like, don't be mad at me, you're leaving tomorrow. And I just got told that morning that we rostered the crew to go to Canada.
Jasmine Chowning works with the Idaho Department of Land's fire team out of the Kootenay Valley. The team went straight up north to Alberta, Canada. They landed at Chipewyan Lake, fighting the lightning-caused Carrot Lake fire, which has grown to more than 20,000 acres.
We were ready to go as soon as we got there. We got rained out the first 2 days. They attached us to the Carrot Lake fire in the Slade Lake district. With how wet the ground stays, it's very impressive how much it still burns. You got that 1.5 feet of duff, and the first 8 inches are saturated with water. You can squeeze it and wring it out, but it's still burning underneath. So that was pretty cool.
Those conditions are very different from what Idaho firefighters usually encounter. The duff layer, as it's called, is a layer of partly decayed organic material that collects on the forest floor.
It feels like you're walking on clouds, like pillows. I mean, super springy, a lot of mud. Your boots get caked up really fast. There's a lot of good play out there. The Canadians wear fire-rated muck boots, so they're wearing those rubber boots. Whereas, here in the States, we're required to wear our leathers.
The team of 13 IDL staffers focused on helping to protect the village around the lake. Roughly 200 people live in the village. They have been evacuated for weeks. IDL's crew secured homes, checking to make sure burned areas were cold to the touch, a good sign that reignition is low. Jasmine specifically had quite a trip, stepping into a new role. She was dispatched to the helibase because of her experience working with the heli-tac team. Long story short, she ended up as the helibase manager, where she was in charge of coordinating 15 different aircraft. Chowning calculated plans for people, equipment, and water drops.
Tying in with those locals, then getting an Australian IMT team as well as a Tasmanian hand crew came over with the Aussie team. So we went from learning the Canadian ways of doing things to learning the Australian ways of doing things. And learning all that different verbiage in a 14-day period. They call it guard, we call it line. They call it jewelry, we call it appliances. Trying to figure out what we needed to order.
The work and the conditions are tough as firefighters continue to work across Canada. There is a silver lining that Jasmine has found. Fire teams from around the world, when they get together, they just get it.
It's not just your region, it's not just your state, it's worldwide. You instantly bond with people because you're all out there doing the same job. It might be slightly different from spot to spot, but we're all doing the same thing and do it for a reason.
Another interesting note that the crew found is that Canada, they manage wildfire much differently than we do in the U.S. So there are times in Canada where the fire will just burn and burn as long as it's not threatening people and structures. They'll just let it continue to burn. And, that does happen sometimes in Idaho, Brian, but for the most part, crews like for the IDL, they're going to knock down those fires as quickly as possible to minimize the damage to what would be endowment land. So, it's a lot different of a strategy depending on the country and what the goal is, but they're all speaking English, but we learned, it's a lot of different words out there.
Vernacular is a bit different way up north. All right, thanks, Joe.